Greetings, fellow Helldivers, the Good Sir Knight, SES Distributor of Freedom. Today we're doing our tier list on support weapons. A bit of a more difficult tier list to make, so we're going to jump on the terminal here, and this is where we're going to go through the stratagems through here and kind of like give them all our ranking. So the tier list is located here. This is ultimately what I came up with. Some people hate backpacks more than others. Some people only prefer like really their Eat 17s, they want to carry the backpack for the recoilless rifle, but those people probably don't enjoy recoilless rifles as much as I do. Called a rifle, even though it's more kind of like a cannon because it's firing a shell and not a rocket. This is an important distinction to make because lots of people will make fun of you if you call it, the recoilless rifle, a rocket launcher when this is clearly not a rocket. My headset charger just fell out. We're going to ignore that and continue with the video. So, this is ultimately the list I got. I like to do my bottom line up front, kind of like cover everything. There's a keynote is several of these support weapons will somewhat frequently be found in the field left behind. Most notably, the machine gun, the stalwart, occasionally only the recoilless rifle and not the backpack. You got one shot there. The grenade launcher. The Eat 17s are found semi-frequently. You can occasionally find a flamethrower. You will very rarely find the autocannon, again without a backpack, but that's 10 free shots. The anti-material rifle and the railgun. You're not going to find a spear, you're not going to find an epoch, you're not going to find a sterilizer. Oh yeah, the arc thrower, but we're going to be getting to that shortly. Arc thrower kind of is in a unique niche spot. So right off the bat, going through from the, we're going to go top to bottom for support weapons. Right off the bat, you get the machine gun. One of the earliest support weapons you'll get, especially as a new Helldiver cadet. Some people tend to forget about it, but the Helldivers 2 team did a fantastic job in the sense that a lot of the starter weapons that you unlock absolutely slap. They completely devastate. Right off the bat, you got medium armor pen because they knew your base Liberator, base Peacemaker are both light pen weapons. So this is going to be your immediate solution on most fronts to punch through armor. Now in the video, there's no armor going on. But the hive guards and stuff, they got thicker carapaces, and this will punch through those and do fantastic work. It does come in a hell pod. It's got a stationary reload. It's 175 rounds per box magazine. You get like 3 of them, so not bad at all. Well, 3 in reserve, one on the gun, obviously. And as you can tell from this video alone, it absolutely shreds. Adjustable rate of fire, and pretty fantastic. So it's an easy number 2 choice. You get it early, and it is fantastic. Carried on, the anti-material rifle. I think that's the old scope. I don't think they use that one anymore. Yeah, they definitely changed up the scope. As you can see, it gives you the ability to destroy stuff at long distance. Arguably the only real sniper rifle. Basically, it finds material and antis it. Heavy armor pen. This thing is fantastic for taking out things like hulks. You can do damage to practically everything with this gun, with the exception of like leviathans. You can shoot the belly of a fabricator strider. What do they call them? I can't think of the official name. I always call them fabricator striders. They're not called fabricator striders. Maybe they are. I don't remember. Anyway, the key takeaway is this thing punches really hard. You get 7 shots. You get like 6 or 7 magazines or something. It goes pretty hard. It's also one of the weapons you will find lying around occasionally, like the machine gun. It's got pretty good use. Anti-material rifle. I do have it in B, but that's not to say it's bad. Pretty much everything B and above are weapons I will use frequently, except maybe the spear. The spear's a little funky. I like the spear, but it's in an odd role. That's it. So yeah, anti-material rifle, heavy armor pen. This is going to give you really good shots if you're not getting shot at. It turns out it's very difficult to land a shot if you're under fire from bots, or if you're getting swarmed by bugs or voteless. But there's solutions to that. Anyway, easy B. Actually, I'd probably put it over the autocannon because you don't have to carry a backpack, which is always nice. And it pops up in containers. something the railgun mysteriously does not do, despite shooting faster and harder and potentially exploding. Next up, the Stalwart. Your first side grade to the machine gun. Light armor pen, so like your Liberator, but it's pretty much frequently described as a Liberator on steroids by many, because you have a 250 round box mag. It does take about 5-6 seconds to reload, but that's a lot of bullets. Again, variable rates of fire. So you can have it shoot slower so you're not overkilling, or have it shoot like crazy fast so things disappear. Doesn't really have any stagger, but when it comes to things like, well, killing things that are in front of you, lots of the fodder enemies, this will do fantastic work. And it pairs quite nicely if you're running something else like the explosive crossbow, the eruptor, a shotgun, a DMR, any of the things where you're going to be at risk of getting swarmed and you need more range than fire, but you need to kill fast because things are coming up at you. This is a fantastic weapon. It won't do the medium pen, but again, if you got the crossbow, your crossbow's your medium pen. You could take the Talon as a sidearm. There's your medium pen. And this will fill every other role quite nicely. So, Stalwart easily right behind the machine gun. All the machine guns are practically interchangeable for what they do. Absolutely fantastic. Love the Stalwart. It also comes with a light and laser. There's a good chunk of, you can see a good chunk of a muzzle rise going on there because it's going. They didn't put a vertical grip on it. There's no support weapon customization, so you get what you get. You gotta work with it. Fantastic. Oh my god. Such a great machine. I use it very, very frequently. Not so much on bots. Bots tend to be a bit harder targets, but does good work against voteless. Some would argue the flamethrower is better against voteless, but then you start to struggle with the elevated overseers, the normal overseers, all the armored guys, and that's where the medium machine gun will punch through practically everything on the squid front. Better than the Stalwart. But against bugs, pretty fantastic. Against bots, it's got its moments. Fantastic gun. Up next, the expendable anti-tank, the EAT 17. Quite clearly based on the M72 Law, a one-shot disposable anti-tank weapon. You call them in with a drop pod, you get 2. With the modifications and stuff, you can call one set of 2 down every 60 seconds. This is one of the best anti-tank weapons since Helldivers 1, when practically your whole squad would call these in, and everyone's just dropping them on cooldown, and you have all the anti-tank you could ever want, because anti-tanking things in Helldivers 1 was pretty easy with any anti-tank weapon. Now, it doesn't hit as hard as the recoilless rifle, and it's disposable, but that means you don't got to reload it. You just pick up a new one. And another keynote in the more pro tip section of things is that these come down in hell pods. It's a hell pod every 60 seconds. A Bile Titan hull for the big nasty Bile Titans can only be taken out with like mini nukes, portable hell bombs, 500 kgs. I do believe the ultimatum does it. The rockets I don't think will, but the hell bomb, not the hell bomb, the hell pod that this comes in has enough destructive force to destroy a Bile Titan hull. So in an absolute worst case scenario, if your team completely botch your loadouts and no one's brought anything, you can take one out with your resupply pod. But if you're carrying these, just throw one of these at it. The hell pod takes out the whole problem solved. These will also, hell pods can also be used to break open walls to cities to get immediate ingress or egress from the city, because cities can suck. The little towns and stuff you'll see out in the distance. And yeah. And you get so many of them, occasionally you're going to use them on stuff like those little nursing spewers or those guys, or someone you just can't get a good angle on and they need to go away right now. EAT 17s, easily in the A tier. I generally tend to take machine guns and stuff. You will find them lying around a lot, and they are pretty fantastic on the bot front because there's lots of things that require either heavy armor pen, if you're really good, or an EAT 17 to just get it out of there immediately. Some people will prefer the Quasar because it's got a 15-second cooldown, but the 5-second charge up under fire tends to really struggle. You can whiff some important shots unless you got the benefit of distance. Last note is when you grab one of these and they pretty much deploy it, they pull the tube back and they get ready to fire it, you need to wait for the optic to pop up. It has like a half second to a second delay where you're like, oh, it looks like it's ready, and you're hitting the fire key, nothing's happening until that sight pops up. I don't know why. I think it's one of those bugs that just no one really notices because they're usually carrying them at the ready. So E17s, fantastic, great weapon. You get them relatively early, which is nice, and it'll between the E17s, I think you unlock the recoilless rifle first, and it goes pretty hard because you can do the team reload, but we're going to talk about that here in a second. And by a second, I mean right now, team reload. And this is one of the things that me and my buddy Hugo were doing. Little one-shot chargers. You can one-tap a Bile Titan to the face. You can take out Hulks. If you don't have like a heavy machine gun, this does really good work. You can posture up on top of a hill and take out entire bot bases. But the key takeaway, how you take this from a two-man powerful anti-tank setup of 7 shells, and you turn it into an absolutely unstoppable, the power of teamwork will defeat you weapon, is you add an ammo pack. So you got the main guy, he's got the recoilless rifle, he sees he's not wearing a backpack, he gave his backpack to his buddy. You can drop backpacks, it's an important skill to have. You give him the backpack, he's reloading you, so you're not spending 5 seconds doing a stationary sitting down reload. He reloads you practically instantly. Also, fun fact, that back end of the recoilless rifle is called a Venturi. Now you know! So you won't mess it up. This is also like the M4 version as opposed to the more modern day, or older M3. It's a bit shorter. Same concept. The key thing, you add the ammo pack. So your buddy's reloading you, you're firing off all your shells like they're doing. You destroy everything that's causing you trouble. You disengage by moving apart or swapping weapons. You turn to your buddy. You press E on them when you got the ammo pack, and they're not carrying a hell bomb. You press E on them, you will refill the 6 whatever backpack slots on him. Then you pull back out the recoilless rifle. He goes back on you, and he's back to immediately reloading you. When me and Hugo were Leviathan hunting, it takes all 7 shells to bring down the Leviathan. We weren't really like aiming super sweaty. We were just like launching the shells and bringing them down. But we were using the team resupply because the rest of the team was doing their own thing while we were hunting stuff, and there was supplies everywhere on Super Earth. If we added the backpack, that's 4 full reloads. So was that 6 shells on the back? 6, 12, 24. 24 more shells. And you could call it another backpack. You'll get another recoilless rifle. You can practically destroy anything and everything with a little bit of a anti-infantry support. You don't want like other bugs and hunters and stuff creeping up on you. Absolutely peak. So it's not that I necessarily think that individually the recoilless rifle is better than the E17s, but more so the fact that as long as you get an ammo pack as well to refill this thing, you've got an absolutely unstoppable anti-tank death squad. And that's why the recoilless rifle has to be number 1. It does take teamwork. It does take some communication. But I want you to remember that the ammo pack strat as well. As long as one of you has this and the other's got the backpack and you're willing to swap, you're set. You will destroy everything. It's more useful than carrying 2 recoilless rifle backpacks because you can refill it 4 times instead of just carrying a single set of refills. Easy S tier, especially with friends. Moving on, the flamethrower, another one of the weapons you can find lying around. Fire has been buffed several times since this game has come out. Now it lingers longer, it burns faster, it takes a bit longer to set big guys on fire, but when you have so much land on fire, it's burning the snow, man. It's burning the snow. It puts everything on fire. It doesn't have any stagger or any pushback, so whatever you're setting on fire, if it really wants to murder your face, it's going to continue attempting to do so. But you can use this, you can even mix it with the warp pack. I've seen people mix it with the hover pack, so you can be a flying flamethrower of death from the sky. I like the warp pack. You shoot all these things and they start trying to get distance on you, and you warp back 10 meters. You set the rest of the ground on fire. If they try to close that distance, you warp again. Fantastic weapon. I do have it in A tier because fire is peak. as a professional pyromancer. Fire speak. I love fire builds. I don't wear the anti-fire armor. I just accept my incredible flammability and try not to set myself on fire. Flamethrower, fantastic, easy A. Up next, we have the autocannon. A weapon you can team reload, but I don't think I've done it more than like 2 or 3 times. Uses 5-round stripper clips. Yes, clips, not magazines. It's got an internal magazine that holds 10 rounds. So you have to be down 5 before you can reload it. Otherwise, they just won't do it. If there's 6 rounds in there, ain't doing it. You gotta fire one off and then load it. Load it individually. It takes 2 seconds per stripper clip. 5 for a complete reload, because you also gotta yank the freaking charge and handle at one point. That takes an extra second. This is a pretty fantastic gun. It'll pierce through a lot of heavy things. You can get the you can set it to flak mode. And the shrapnel, which has also been buffed since its inception, before they even added a flak mode. You can have the shrapnel will shred through shields, it'll shred through shriekers. It could do some pretty nasty damage on small guys. As you can see, it's tearing through these big nasty dudes. The damage is decent, but your key benefit is that it shoots in a straight line, similar to the Quasar. So if your team's well coordinated on like the squid front, or you just want to like snipe out bots, this one will put the rounds into the vents and blow them up just fine. However, with the squid ships, you need someone to bring down the shields. If someone can bring down the shields, then you can take them out. If you don't want to wait time on the shields, put it in flak mode, hit the shields with some flak, set it back to penetrating explosive, put one shell down through the door, boom, you can blow up the things from a distance. The alternative is to use like the anti-tank emplacements and rockets and hope for the best. It takes a second, but there's a lot of skill and technique you can do. And of course, if you do want to do the team play like they're doing, ammo pack. That's a lot more shots for you to throw down a lot of hate at a lot of guys, and you'll reload very quickly. So, oh, what was that? What did I do? I hit compare info. Wait, what? You can compare? Oh. I'll be real with you guys. I never pressed the tab to compare info before. That's kind of crazy. And it tells you how much they cost. Look at that. Okay, so if I click machine gun. Machine gun is... No, click machine gun. Yep. I was locked on autocannon, huh? Can I exit? I can. Okay. So machine gun. Free. You start with the machine gun. Oh, yeah. So 5,000, 3,500. Oh, the stalwart's cheaper. Look at that. Cooldown time. Yeah, anti-tank is 60. Okay, cool. That's cool info. Anyway. Deselect. It's not deselecting. Anyway, where was it? Autocannon. Pretty fantastic weapon. So, yeah. We got it in B tier. I use it very occasionally, but when I do use it, it does the Lord's work. It's pretty fantastic. Up next, the heavy machine gun. The version of the machine gun that is, well, heavy. Without peak physique, this is a absolute beast to try to lug around and get shots off accurately. 3 modes of fire. I'll generally put it on fast mode if whatever's in front of me has heavy armor and needs to die immediately. But otherwise, I'll put it on the slow fire mode, because it gives you a lot more time to control the recoil before the next shot goes off. And it does great work on bots. You can use it on the squid front, but the medium machine gun just gives you more options for the vote list. This has 100 rounds per box mag. The medium machine gun has 175. This one also only gets 2 reloads. It doesn't get 3 like the medium machine gun, so you're struggling for ammo efficiency unless you got an ammo pack. But even so, you can get a lot done with heavy machine gun. Supposedly, War Striders only have medium armor, so you can punch through them with this. You can punch through hulks. If you're fighting a what was it, Factory Strider, that's what they're called. Fabricator Strider, Factory Striders. You can actually shoot out their guns with this or a medium pen weapon. You won't be able to take out the gun on the top without a type of explosive rocket or something. But if you can get underneath them, you can dump this into the belly of the beast, and it will bring it down. It's not the most Easy way to do it, but it's always an option. So heavy machine gun, fantastic on the bot front. Kind of overkill for the squid front, because medium getting through shields is more or less your main concern, and then medium pen will take out harvesters. Flesh mobs are kind of just annoying, but we're going to be talking about a solution to them in a moment. Fantastic gun, I love it. I love the big shielded bullet feed tray, not the feed tray, the feed there going ham. I love the big old drum mag. It's just a beautiful gun. I love it. God, I love the heavy machine gun. It punches through everything. So obviously it's an S tier. All these machine guns are kind of interchangeable as to where they go. It depends on what task you're trying to accomplish. Up next, the Airburst Rocket Launcher. Oh boy. So the Airburst Rocket Launcher, there's no other way to put it. You're going to accidentally kill your team and yourself several times due to the learning curve. But once you learn it, you won't do that anymore unless something goes horrifically wrong and you get better decision-making protocol. This thing will kill practically everything. One of my favorite things to use it for on the Illuminate front is to find their cognitive disruptor, and you fire 2 of these off on the sides, and the little bomblets will generally take out all of the little power boxes and shut it down. You don't even have to go in there. This thing will devastate shields for the Illuminate side. It'll destroy flesh mobs, which is one of my favorite things, is flesh mobs are such a pain to deal with. The explosive's enough to take out the little zappy towers the Illuminate have. If you're really in a pinch, you can use it to close bug holes and drop the main shell into fabricator vents, but it's kind of nasty and not what it's made for. And of course, you gotta reload it by yourself if you don't have a friend. You generally won't have a friend. Most people don't want to be around you when you're carrying one of these. But as long as you're careful, there's a proximity fuse, and the distance of the trajectory of the rocket, it has a bit of drop off. You'll learn that. The proximity between your teammate, it going over their head, or it detonating on your teammate and generally earning you a friendly kick out of the game, is very precise. But if you can master it, you have one of the single strongest, not anti-tank weapons. You can occasionally get it to trigger just right and blow up hulks. One of the easiest ways I found is to throw like a strafing run or something at them. Bots will chase after Eagle 1, which means Hulk is going to turn his nice open vents and everything towards you for you to dunk weapons into and possibly destroy him without needing heavy pen. And the airburst will do it. An airburst to the back of a Hulk, he's done. But it is only technically medium armor pen, so heavier things like War Striders and stuff ain't gonna even notice. The Factory Striders, you can blow off the chin guns, which are the deadliest 2 Gatling guns that thing has. Cannon will still be a problem, but that's gonna get you through like the nastiest thing. It's gonna have a very hard time doing anything to you at close range other than occasionally spawning Devastators at that point. It's S tier. There's a very, very high learning curve, but it is S tier. And it's worth learning. If you can master it, even if you just gotta play a few solo games, replace your teammates with sentries, because they'll proc about the same distance from a sentry as it will from a living, breathing Helldiver. Great. The main downside, outside of all that, there's another downside you need to know about, and that is use in megacities. In cities in general. With megacities, you've got Siege troopers and civilians running around. You blow up too many of them and your super destroyer executes you for treason. This is made more of a problem when you can't maintain perfect mission clarity of every individual person in every location at all times. People are going to be behind buildings, they're going to be all over the place, and you have the same problem with the Eagle cluster bomb. It's a lot of explosions killing everything, and it will be a bad time. So, everywhere outside of a megacity, this thing rocks. Inside a megacity, that's the only time you're really going to want to swap it with something a bit more precise. Easy S tier, though. Love it. Oh my god, I love the airburst. The Commando. I gotta keep taking sips. I'm gonna lose my voice. Based on the M202 Flash. Laser guided. 4 rockets. They don't hit as hard as the expendable anti-tank, but it's pretty close. 2 of these will hit harder. You're carrying 4 instead of having to pick up a second launcher. The call-in time is 103 seconds, which is longer than 60 by like 43 seconds. But you don't have to worry about drop-off. The rockets are a bit slower, but when you're trying to hit those, what do they call them? The little bunker turrets and the big old, what do they call them? Cannon turrets, laser turrets, whatever they want to call them, the cannon turrets. This thing, you point at one, you don't even need to maintain laser lock. You can just click it and do a trick shot. Destroys them. Makes your life so much easier. A shot to the eyeball, the Hulk will kill him, otherwise 2 shots. It'll destroy the War Striders with 2 shots to the little pelvic girdle they got going on. The Commando's great. It's easier to shoot because it can be laser guided. You can bring down gunships with a single shot on the bot front, causing you trouble. It's pretty fantastic. And you don't need your buddy to reload you. Another perk. Love the Commando. Great gun. I actually have it just in front of EAT 17. They're close to interchangeable. The EAT 17 has a lot more, we'll call it ballistic drop. Whereas the Commando will just, you can also put it to dummy fire mode. I don't know why you would, but you can. I would just use the laser, get your shots in. And after you fire all 4, throw it away. If you have a machine gun on the side, you can call this down. Toss it, get your machine gun back. Fantastic. Love the Commando. Up next, the Railgun. The Railgun is the weapon I don't use as often. It's good, but I've only ever used it when I've had to be like respawned, called back in as a reinforcement, and I can't get my main gun back if there's one lying around. That said, the Railgun is fantastic. You line it up just right, and you can one-shot a Hulk. A little bit shaky on your aim, blast the arms off. Close to a full charge, will take off an arm each. 2 shots, Hulk's disarmed. He's got to walk up and try to melee with you. And he's going to have a hard time when you got one of these. It does not have the scope of the anti-material rifle. Instead, it has a little green dot, which I think is a nice little touch. Green's my favorite color. Good change of pace from the usual red dots you got going on, unless you have the 4X combat scope. That said, don't overcharge it. It'll explode as a safe and unsafe mode. Safe mode doesn't hit as hard, but you can hold the charge indefinitely until you're ready to shoot. Unsafe mode, you gotta time it, because it ain't gonna hold. It's gonna make you turn into a fine paste and blow up the railgun, which means you're out of a weapon. But it gets 20 shots. It reloads very quickly. It'll do work, but it won't pop open containers for some reason. So you gotta have grenades or something else for that. Great gun. You'll find them all over the map most of the time. Very cool concept. Love the magnet. But definitely, it doesn't have any real... You can shoot it pretty far, but without a proper powered zoomed optic, it's pretty tricky. But it's a fairly fantastic weapon. I don't take it terribly often, so I have it in B tier. But don't take that to mean it's bad. Some people swear by these. They'll take them over every other gun I've listed. And it is anti-tank. That's the important thing to note. This thing can damage tanks. You can technically kill tanks with it if you've got safety a good distance away. It'll do incredible work. Bring down Bile Titans, bring down everything. Most other guns only get up to heavy pen. This one's got anti-tank without being a rocket. So it is good. Don't get it twisted. It is fantastic. I just don't use it all that often. Maybe when I stream later today, I'll take one around and try to force it to work, which Arrowhead does an amazing job when it comes to weapons. They're very good at balancing most of them. Not the Epoch, I'm sorry. But a lot of them, they do a good job. Railgun, it's B tier. Pretty much my cutoff is at B. Everything above B, I will use pretty frequently. Everything below B, I'm either doing a challenge, or one of my buddies needs me to use it, or one of my buddies me and my buddy both passed away, and he's calling in a new one, and there's one lying around, and I don't have any other support weapon available. I'll use the laser. It's not my favorite. Epoch, Spear's fantastic for certain things, but you don't get a lot of ammo. We'll talk about that here momentarily. And by momentarily, I mean now, because it's next on the list. The spear. There's only 3 shots in that backpack, 1 in the gun. Basically, your javelin up and back down sort of weapon blows up tanks. Key benefit here is that it locks on. It goes the distance. It is I believe it's still the single hardest hitting weapon in the game, which you would think would make it really good against Leviathans, but no, they've got stupid amounts of health. But it locks on, it does insane damage. As you can see, it destroys tanks with ease, destroys bunkers, anti-tank, stationary reload. Does like 4,500 or some ridiculous amount of damage. I think it's still not enough to kill a flesh mob. I don't think you can lock onto him though, it's been a minute. And generally you gotta reload it yourself. People will help you reload a recoilless rifle. Not a lot of people are gonna help you reload your spear. They're gonna be like, nah, figure it out. But when your team's across the map and they're getting harassed by tanks, or they've got was it the freaking the gunships and stuff chasing them, you can give them long range support, practically guaranteed to hit, and you can save their life. They'll thank you for it practically every time. Because you know when there's a gunship ruining your life because you have no way to stop it, and you see that missile come in and blow it out of the sky, and you're like, oh my god, thank you. Clutch. But yeah, key downside is if you're too close, like you got a Hulk running up in your face, the missile tends to go over the Hulk, crash into the ground behind it, not kill it, and your problems remain. So, great gun, but not necessarily in the tier that I'm going to usually take it. If you take this and you're really skilled at a bullet drop and the everything, then the recoilless rifle does everything a lot better. Downside is you can occasionally miss. I've had times where I was fighting the laser cannons, the big old bot turrets that are demonic, and I hate them because they'll kill you from afar, especially when you don't see them. Then jump scare simulator. I fired the recoilless rifle, and it came in, and it would go pink and bounce off, and then the gun's just like, excuse you? And I'm like, ah, man. This won't do that. This will hit it and explode every time. The recoilless, if it doesn't hit square on, it'll occasionally bounce off. They are angled for deflection in a surprisingly smart bot move to give them a chance to survive. But yeah, spear. Pretty cool. I would take it occasionally, but not as often as others. Up next, from the Killzone 2 crossover, the Wasp. It's listed as anti-tank. It's not really anti-tank. It will devastate Hulks. Like 3 or 4 shots will take out a flesh mob, which is incredible value, incredible bang for your buck. It'll one-shot overseers. It'll one-shot elevated overseers. It'll one-shot the long-range artillery overseers. It'll one-shot the thing. It does great work on the squid front, more than anything. It is squirrely. As you can see, those little mini missiles are going all over the place when they launch until they figure out what they're doing. It actually looks better in the video. They'll go everywhere before they lock in. So depending on how much stuff is around you, it might take some work. If there's trees, forget about it. If there's buildings everywhere, forget about it. Out in the open, like here in the desert, peak. You can do incredible work. You can also just drop them all on top of something if you're really worried about stuff. Like this, and drops in. It's alright. It'll only lock onto like medium and large enemies anyway. Pretty cool backpack. You get like 7 bomblets per. You get like 5 big old shells per backpack with little fun lights to tell you how much ammo you got left. Great weapon. I personally have it in... Oh, I actually got an A tier. I do use it a bit along the squid front when things are nasty. It'll let you take out some of the more annoying stuff from a distance. You can save your team. You can save your team a lot of trouble with one of these, especially against flesh mobs. But then you gotta deal with the. You gotta have a plan for the voteless. If you got a backpack, then you're not carrying your K9 guard dog, which will zap voteless out of existence. So you gotta be smart with sentries, Tesla towers, stuff of that nature. Still pretty fantastic. I put it in A just because I really like it. Lots to learn, but it'll do pretty fantastic work in the open. Up next, we've got jump pack. It's a minute before we get back to... There's the supply pack. Definitely unlock that. The grenade launcher. Oh boy, what to say about the grenade launcher. As you can see with the bug holes, it closes bug holes like a champ. You get, was it like your main belt, you get like 2-3 reloads, so 3 belts of 10 grenades each, and they work like your normal impact high explosive for the most part. When it comes to bug holes, they can have a lot of bug holes. I used to use my explosive crossbow. It was my go-to for the majority of the game. But yeah, as you can see with the grenade launcher, it can be a little squirrely because it's not like a super accurate way. It's got a lot of sway going on. But if you don't want to use the airburst, you still want to kill things at a distance, kind of understanding your arc, you can fire off boom, 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 and those grenades will pop, 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 and you can take out entire patrols. Of course, it is only medium armor pen, so the heavier units are generally going to survive. You can bounce them under chargers and get it to blow up on the butt and kill them. It's not very effective against Bile Titans. You got to try really, really hard. But in terms of not worrying about anti-tank, this will close your bug holes. This will blow up in containers. It doesn't have a backpack. You can pair it with an ammo pack for near infinite ammo, which means you will grenade the hell out of everything. Peak. I love it. I've got it down here in A, but honestly, with how often I use it, I think just because it doesn't have a backpack, I'm going to put it in S tier. I love it. I love the grenade launcher. I love grenade launchers in real life, so having a grenade launcher in a game like this is pretty peak. Oh, I'm noticing I'm just noticing right now, they don't have the de-escalator on here. This is an older list. I actually added the epoch myself. Let me fix that real quick. Go over here. Let's look up Helldivers 2 de-escalator. Yeah, that guy. Let me jump in here. Click on that. I'm going to save this image. Save it next to that. We're going to close you. We're going to go back to our list. I'm going to come down here. We're going to... Actually, let me... You guys don't need to see all my upcoming projects. Yeah, I'm going to go down here. I'm going to browse. I'm going to go find de-escalator. Okay, add that. I'm going to come back. You're not going to go there. There we go. Alright. Everything's working against me with these hotkeys. They're in a de-escalator. I'm going to be real with you. I don't care for it. It's fine. It's fine. But it's not my style. Going back to Helldivers 2. Yeah, grenade launcher. Love it. A tier. Or S tier. I'm going to put it in S tier. Maybe not the highest in S tier, but for bugs, great. Bots, you can blow up all the fabricators once you're nearby if you don't want to try throwing a grenade in normally. You can blow up the smaller bots. The bigger bots are still going to be a bit of a problem, but against squids, you can blow up most of the squids until they start swarming you, and then your grenade launcher is significantly less useful except for taking out landed warp ships, but there's easier ways to do that with thermites and strafing runs and everything else, so. Love the grenade launcher. Laser cannon. My buddy Recon almost exclusively uses the laser cannon. He's been using it since the game came out. He loves it. It does set things on fire, which is a really nice touch. You can just set everything on fire with it. Fire does a lot more damage, but it'll only set one thing on fire at a time. It doesn't punch through shields very well, but you can get the headshots on bots relatively quickly. Think like the scythe on steroids. It's gonna punch through stuff pretty well. Scythe or sickle? Yeah, definitely scythe. Double-edged sickle, so scythe. Scythe on steroids, powerful beam, sets stuff on fire. Only burns one target per, but that'll let you take out chargers. This is heavy armor pen, so it will punch through the armor of a charger and set its main body on fire. It can, I believe you can set Bile Titans on fire with it. I don't think I've ever tried. Every time there's been a Bile Titan, I think someone, if I have a laser cannon, someone's always hit it with like a rocket and not let me test out the fire, so that might be worth checking in the future. It has heat buildup, so as long as you don't burn out the ice, the integral or internal cooling element, you practically have infinite ammo, which is pretty nice. It's not anti-tank though, so it will struggle against things like laser turrets and stuff. The little bunker turrets, the smaller version, they can be defeated with heavy armor pen, so this will take those out, just not the big guys unless you're hitting them on a weak spot. But yeah, fantastic gun, laser cannon. I'm gonna put it in C tier. I like it, but if I'm doing that, I probably have like a quasar. Where's the quasar? That's a little too high for the quasar. I'll use the quasar, but I think I'll generally prefer something more ballistic just because I can fire faster. We'll talk about the quasar here in a minute. Laser cannon's pretty cool. The arc thrower, oh boy. So before the K9 guard dog, we had the arc thrower and the blitzer. Blitzer didn't shoot as far, but it had a lot of bolts and it would stagger everything around you. The arc thrower tends to be very inconsistent. I think it's technically anti-tank, but getting it to kill a tank is borderline impossible. It's got a charge-up time of about 1 second before you can zap. It has an odd tendency to arc towards your teammates. And it doesn't arc as much as I feel like it should. It does shoot out to like 55 meters or something, but it only killed like 2 bots. The K9 arcs through everything. That's how it gets like 95 kills on vote lists. This thing, it just doesn't. The blitzer arcs through a few things, but a significantly shorter range. The arc thrower, it just it's wildly inconsistent. You'll find them lying around maps. I don't take them terribly often. I have it in F tier. Some people really like it. I'm not one of those people. I apologize. Arc thrower, it has its moments, but just not enough moments in my opinion. I think if it was closer to the K9 and insane, devastating murder power, it would be significantly higher. But right now, like, the de-escalator is still a bit more useful. Quasar cannon. You know, a 15-second cooldown, a bit longer on hot planets, less noticeable on cold planets. 5-second charge up, destroys hulks, don't gotta reload it. You fire it, put it back on your back, run around 15 seconds, whip it back out, blow up something else. When you're fighting hulks and laser turrets, laser cannons, bigger guys, unless there's no aggro on you and you have a clean shot, you're generally gonna get staggered. Worst case scenario, you stagger, and while you're going you point it at the ground right before it discharges, blows you up, you die. Suboptimal. Less of a problem with more instant satisfaction rocket launchers, recoilless rifles, and stuff of that nature. Great for taking out basic fabricators from a distance if you got a hill and you don't want to use the anti-tank emplacement. But it's a bit limited. I did have it in A tier earlier, but I don't use it as often. It's pretty good. Actually, you know, maybe I'll put it... I might put it really low A tier or pretty high B tier. It's got uses. There's lots of uses for it. Especially the true infinite ammo is nice, but... when you got like a tank on you right now and you need it gone, most people like throw thermites on it. Those will burn, what, 5-10 seconds before they explode and destroy it, where this still has a 5-second charge up. It's a little rough. So if you're under a lot of heat, not great. If you've got some distance and time, you got to have this planned out. It's not going to be like an, oh no, they're on top of me. Give me like 5 seconds. I got to warm up. No, you're gonna. I'm sorry, brother. You're gonna die. Great gun. Low A tier, high B tier, somewhere between there. Not bad though. Not bad. Still in the usable set. Guard dog. We're going to talk about guard dogs in a later video. The sterilizer. It doesn't release gas. It's a spray. Once you spray it, the spray disappears, and it's... Oh, there's a bunker back there. You should go get that. There could be 300 super credits. You spray it, it confuses them, they run around. Gas grenades do the same thing, but they leave a cloud behind, which gives you like several seconds of disorientation for everything that runs through. Great for the predator strain. The dog's breath guard dog does the stream, but it also just sort of like, psh, okay, you're infected next. Psh, psh, psh. Peak. This just is the worst of both. It If you're that close, you want fire. And most of the time you'll spray something, they're not gonna get blinded and run around. They're gonna be like, I can't see. I think you were here. Dead. So, sterilizer, not great. This one's actually like F tier, but like low F tier, like way over here. Like, if it was gas, without changing the guard dog's breath. If this was suddenly gas, like the gas grenades, and you could leave a cloud behind, like the flamethrower that lingered and confused, I would easily like move it up to B tier, easy. But the flamethrower is just way better. The sterilizer gets picked on like 0.03% of dives, and even then, it's probably because someone just unlocked it, they want to see what it's like, and then they go, oh, and then they never touch it again. So. That's the sterilizer. Is that all? Oh, the one true flag. You're not on the list either. One true flag. Support weapon. What's there to say about it? Very cosplay. It's melee. It bounces off things now instead of punching through like support weapons used to do. You can plant it in bugs and bots and on Pelican 1 and on your warthogs and on all sorts of things, which is pretty cool. Let's see. I don't have it on the list, but put that in low B tier, unless you're on like easier missions, especially with peak physique where you can stab through things, do extra damage. It's pretty good, but I'm gonna say like B tier. Just imagine it here. Here's the one true flag. I'll add it later when my computer's not being funky. Actually, I will add it right now. Hold on. Let me. Yep, it's gonna throw that off. That's gonna get all weird. Helldivers. Yeah, as you can see, I'm a professional. I'm totally ready for all this. One true flag. Gonna jump in here. I'm gonna. Where is it? Where's that one true flag? One true flag is OP? Overpowered? Please nerf. Come on, take me to. Where's that page? There it is. Where's the stratagem? There it is. Open. Save image. Yep, save. Come back here. Browse. Add one true flag. Where is it? There you go. Okay, open. Alright, it's back. We're gonna go. Actually, I could just click on this, can't I? Yeah, nice. I can jump to page 1 and show you guys my YouTube channel. One true flag. I guess B. I've used it occasionally. It's fun. It does rally your team. There's no true power to it, but seeing your teammate carry one, it tends to help you, I guess, lock in, focus, cowboy up, get the job done. And you can plant them on top of bases, embarrass the enemy. Pretty great. One true flag. It's a flag, and it's true. I forgot it existed. It's good. It's not going to be your first pick. It takes up a stratagem slot. Everyone who's very, very sweaty at the game is going to be like, bro? But everyone who believes in fun, 99% of the community that isn't about team killing and griefing, is going to be like, yo, he's got the one true flag! And people will also follow you if you're waving it around. Even if they have other stuff to do, they'll be like, this guy, follow this guy. One true flag. Honestly, probably like S tier, but I'm going to put it in B, because people will go ham in my comments if I put this A tier. Or S tier. I really like melee. Before the melee got nerfed in that one patch, you could kill everything with melee. And it doesn't say it has stun, but it does work almost effectively like the stun lance, but it does more damage. And you don't have to carry a melee weapon. Oh, they don't have the shovel and the break action shotguns missing. They're not on the list. They should be, but they're not weapons you can call in. The shovel is good if you need to hit something in the face very Deathcore of Krieg style, excuse me. Ah, got hiccups coming on. Deathcore of Krieg style shovel, you can find them lying around. I would put them A tier. I love my melee weapons. S tier. The break action shotgun, it's a shotgun that's very long, and the spread is like nothing, so it devastates light targets. That would be B tier. It's not something you could bring with you, but if you are doing an easier run without a support weapon, you could find one of those. It's actually pretty legit. Up next, de-escalator. Interesting gun. Apparently there's a very odd abnormality between solo and 4-man dives depending on how much arc damage it does. Medium armor pen, it's decent. It'll zap things. It doesn't kill as hard as other guns, unfortunately. Like the K9 guard dog kills everything that like a whole magazine of this will do. You get 6 shells, they load individually. It's a pakunk, thunk, 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 thunk. The reload time is very long. Lots of people love their arc damage. I had someone quite upset about my arc grenade placement because I guess they just love arc damage more than your average person. But for me, I like the grenade. Obviously, this is a Milcore 6-round grenade launcher themed. Whereas I like my, was it Mark, not the Mark 19. Is it the Mark 19? I can't remember the grenade launcher, belt-fed grenade launcher. Love that gun. Beautiful. A miniaturized version is what we got, so. Yeah, de-escalator. It's C tier, as in the sense that I'm not going to willingly bring it. But if I were to, like, find one occasionally, I would take it with me and use it to boom, 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 blast stuff. Not gonna do it often. Not gonna do it often. It also doesn't have the destructive force to close bug holes or do all that other stuff that's important for explosives to do. Which is why explosives play a very keen role in the game because you need them to take out certain stuff. Same issue with the arc grenades. You throw them in a fabricator and they bounce back out. Also the de-escalator. I mean, you're less likely to team kill with it given the fact that your team's usually not in the area. Stun's fine, but like again, you got the the guard dog K9, and the K9 is pretty fantastic. So it's not bad, but it's also one of the. It's like many of these. It's behind a war bond, so depending on how badly you want it, there it is. And last but not least, the Epoch. When it came out, the spread was stupid. It would go everywhere but where you pointed it. 3 shots per battery. You get like 4 batteries. Purifier on steroids. Big explosion. Heavy armor pen, so it takes out some of the bigger nasties. The charge up's a bit funky. I think I killed a few Hulks with it before. Don't blow yourself up. The gun goes away. So somewhere between Purifier and Railgun. Conceptually, very, very cool. In practice, again, no true destructive force to close anything. The concept's kind of there, but I think there's no reason for it not to have pinpoint accuracy. It should be able to hit exactly where you point it every time, and then you could take out cannon turrets from behind. You can blow up Hulks easily. You can blow up War Striders easily. Chargers, all that stuff should be a I can't miss this shot once it's charged sort of ordeal. But as it is, there's always that chance that your shot XCOMs right past him and then you die. And like, yes, you have a reinforcement budget, but I also feel better when I get through a whole game without dying once than I do when my weapons fail me. And with that, it is I got C tier. It's not in the F tier, I'm never gonna use this ever sort of ordeal, but sometimes actually I kind of feel bad having the arc thrower in there. Arc thrower I'm not gonna use. I mean, you're probably tied with the de-escalator, but I can't have anything else in the same tier as the sterilizer. The sterilizer, it needs so much love. Give it gas. Give it a lingering gas. I'll beef it up. Until then, it needs help. But that is... Okay, so here we go. Here's the official tier list. With this one mostly here to cheese off people in the comments. So, that's what I got for support weapons. Like, weapons, we'll talk about actual, like, emplacements and stuff in another video. So, that's what I got for you guys today. Hopefully this video has been somewhat insightful and given you a few ideas for future builds. Feel free to disagree down in the comments. I'll read it and probably get a good chuckle. Cheers, everyone. Stay chivalrous, and I'll catch you all in the next video. This video is taken almost an hour, so I might have to put the primary review in a future video. Cheers, everyone. Catch you later. Bye bye.